There is such a thing as a tutoring dry season. So what do I mean by that? Tutoring is tied very strongly to the educational system. Parents are already doing the part of the job that involves raising the kid emotionally and physically, and they bring them to school to take care of the part that involves education. So why do parents hire tutors? Well, they hire tutors, generally speaking, when their child is struggling. So, well, what happens in the summer? School ends. School ends. I mean, the kids already taken their finals. That's usually around the time when tutoring kind of tends to end. The kid is not going to summer school. Well, the kid's usually not going to tutoring. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to be open or receptive, at least a little bit, to some tutoring. So what I wanted to do with this video is to start talking to you guys about what to do during the tutoring dry season, which generally starts around May and lasts all the way to October. I know that schools usually have 2 months off, but once the school's done, tutoring is usually done. And when school starts, parents not always are really into getting their kids on the right track. They hope that they start on the right track and then get the tutoring if they need it. So May, June, July, August, September, October. Really, I counted 6 months, but really the tutoring dry season is just about 4 months long. The end of May to the beginning of October. That's a third of the year. So what do we do to combat that? Well, there are things that you can do, and this video is the first 3 things that you can do to combat that tutoring dry season, to get yourself some clients and maybe even to keep some of your older clients. Do note this is the first 3 of a 10-part series of what to do during the tutoring dry season. How do you get the other 7? Well, there's a link right below, and I'm going to also include a link in the description to a Facebook group where I'm providing the other 7 things to do during this tutoring dry season. The first thing you can do is you already have some clients. Hopefully you already have some clients that you are working with, and you may be surprised that they actually are more receptive than you would initially think about tutoring during the summer. The only thing is that they hired you for a purpose. The purpose is now completed, especially if the kid got good enough, according to the parents' definition, that they really don't feel the need to do more during the summer. So what happens in that case? Well, first off, if they didn't do quite well enough, then you may want to talk to the parent and say, hey, I think we should use that summer time to improve a little bit more to get us to the point where we can really start off next year on a strong base. But if the kid already has a B and the parent is like, oh, that's good enough, or you did a phenomenal job as a tutor and the kid got an A, they might actually be like, you know what? We're good for the summer. So, well, what do you have to do in that case? What you should really start to do is you should think about what other needs the parent may want you to fill. If they already are satisfied, largely satisfied with the child's educational needs, this is when you start to think about some of the other things that you could do during the summer. So what kind of things are we talking about? Well, we're talking about cross-curricular activities. You could try to think of some activities that you can do with the kid, pre-planned before you talk to the parent. Some pre-planned cross-curricular activities that you can do with the student. That may be writing about math, writing about science, taking trips to parks, writing about what we see, bringing in some of the science into the projects, and maybe even, if you're comfortable, some of the math, bringing in some of the history of the town. Another great idea is to think of the summer as a good time to do one single long-term project. If the kid likes to write, if the kid likes science, instead of thinking about what to do as a homework helper or as a one time, this is what the school has type of thing, think about instead turning the summer into a long term, one big writing assignment that they can do, let's say about their favorite topic. It could be about a specific science topic, it could be about a specific math topic or a specific moment in history or something special that is happening during the summer. A nice chapter project is a phenomenal idea so that you could actually chunk it up into 8 parts, 8 weeks, summertime. Bring in some of the activities that your current clients have available to them in the town, maybe within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is that the parents are comfortable with, and that they normally wouldn't do with the kid, that maybe you can start doing with the kid. And if you've ever gone to a store and they're trying to sell up on everything that you buy, you bought one thing, but they're trying to upsell on well, if you have a computer, how about a really nice mouse? How about a great printer? How about this? How about that? Sometimes if you're actually not interested in buying, you may notice that a lot of these stores downsell too. Well, if you're not willing to buy the computer, what about a slower version of the same computer? What about a Chromebook? What about a tablet? What about phone case? What about a pack of gum? They keep going down to the point where you're actually willing to buy something and not haggling, not to the point where you're getting annoying with your clients because you don't want to lose them for next year. But you may say to them, hey, you're going on vacation for these 2 weeks. You actually would only have 6 weeks. That may be much more affordable than you initially had planned. So selling down is another tactic too. So the assignment that I have for you is to think about a long-term project that you could do with a single client that you have. And then I want you to sell that to that client. Day 2 of 10 of what you can do to get clients at the beginning of that tutoring dry season. And I know it can be very frustrating to know that it's May and a lot of your clients are going on vacation. A lot of your clients just they disappear on you. Or maybe you don't even have clients and you're trying to get clients now right at the beginning of where a lot of the clients just disappear. Or maybe it's the tutoring wet season, meaning that there's a lot of clients out there looking for tutors, but you just don't have any yet and you don't know what to do. The second day is when you start to really think deeply about what parents want. And notice, by the way, that day 1 spirals right into day 2, and that's not a coincidence. These 10 days that I'm forming for you do spiral. I'm actually doing this as the same way that if you are a teacher, or sometimes if you're a tutor, the way you would spiral content in. This is when you start to really think deeply about what it is that clients want during the summer. Because fall clients, winter clients, spring clients, they're not the same clients as summer clients. Yes, there are some clients that are going to summer school. Maybe you are tutoring college kids that are going to college and they're just actually taking classes, so they're the same as any other kid. Or maybe you're tutoring a middle school kid that is taking summer school, or a high school kid. Yes, those are about the same. Those really are just like the fall, winter, and spring kids, except they're on an accelerated pace. But what if it's the kid who's not going to summer school, has a vacation planned? Normally parents use the summer to save up some so they can save money for tutoring, and whatever it is that it happens to be, those clients are just different. So what you need to think about is what those clients want all around where you live, all around where you actually have access to, and then think of 3 different type of parents, meaning not that they're really categorized differently, but what their different goals are. Are they trying to just give their kid something to do during the summer so that they're not sitting in front of the computer getting dumbed down by the commercials that are being thrown at them by the computer, by YouTube, the TV, and they need somebody to give them some educational content? Are they looking for somebody who can do a little bit of caretaking while they just relax for a moment? Are they looking for somebody who can mentor their kids, who can act as a role model, a person who's successful, a person who is the adult in the room and knows how to have fun, but also knows when to be serious? Or are they looking for opportunities for their child to have fun with other kids? That's not the only kinds of parents that exist in the summer. For every parent that exists, there's a different need. What you want to think about is, what niche can you fill? Are you the kind of person that can actually serve as a good caretaker? Can you take care of the kid for the 2-3 hours that the mom wants to relax? The mom wants to go shopping. The dad wants to go shopping. They both have work that they need to do around the house, or they're literally just not home. Maybe there's a gap between the babysitting. Whatever it happens to be, you may be able to fill those gaps. And think about that full list that I just gave you. If you can't think of 3 different types of parents and what their needs are, go with the list that I just gave you before. Now, I want you to start planning what you can do for those parents during the summer. And then not just the parents of kids that you are working with, but parents who are in your neighborhood, what they are looking for during the summer. What programs do your schools around you provide, and what are they missing, and what can you provide? Are there museums around? Are there parks around? Are there flower shops that open only during the summer? Are there farmers markets? Are there cooking classes? Are there art classes? Those kinds of activities, parents love to hear those. And so then when you go to contact a parent and you say to them, hey, I'm a tutor. I normally tutor math. I normally tutor English. I normally tutor ELA, whatever it is that you happen, math, English, ELA, history, Spanish, a language, exercise class, jujitsu, whatever it is that you happen to do, then you can go to the parent and say, actually, but during the summer, I have these awesome activities that I have planned. I'm going to the art museum, and then I'm getting art supplies, and then I'm doing art with the kids, and then I'm writing about the art, and then whatever it is that you're doing, you go excitedly tell the parents that that's what you want to do with that kid, and then they may actually hear that that's what you want to do, and they may actually say yes to you. Now that you've put thought into a single client and what you can offer them in the summer, and then you've thought about what you can offer parents in the community, maybe parents that you don't know, that now this is when you start thinking about how you ask for referrals. And specifically, I want you to think about how you ask for referrals from family members. Why family members? Those are the ones that you know best. Now, if you're anything like me, you may have asked for referrals, and maybe you did that by posting on Facebook a blanket post saying, hey, give me referrals. I have a referral bonus. And I've done that too. And in fact, I do recommend that you do that. You should really just type one up. Say, hey, I have a referral bonus. So and in my case, anyone who works with me and completes 8 hours of tutoring, the referrer gets a $50 check. Or a free hour of tutoring. And that may be a little bit too high for you. I don't know if your fees match $50. You don't want to give up a ton of your fee. But my fee is higher than $50, so completing 8 hours of tutoring is not a big deal to give. It's not a big deal for me to give a fee, a referral bonus for $50. But why do we even do that post and then just kind of leave it there? The truth is that we a lot of times feel embarrassed about asking for referrals, even from our own family. So what I want you to do, I want you to think about tailoring your referral requests to family members. When you're asking for referrals from family members, you don't want to ask for those referrals in exactly the same way. Every family member is just different, and the way they interact with the world is just different. So everything can really have an effect on how a referral comes across for them. So if it's somebody who you know well, do know that when you're coming for a referral, they know that you're coming from a place of trust. So maybe you may feel embarrassed to ask for a referral, and that's okay. And you can even be upfront and say, hey, I actually am a little, I'm a little bit embarrassed. When I'm asking for referrals, it's kind of always tough, especially from family members. And then you go on, tell them, it's like, look, I'm always looking for tutoring clients, and right now it's a bit of a slow season. I would love to have a few more clients, and then and go on with your spiel. And this is just a blanket thing, but let's talk more specific in a second. But then you say, hey, by the way, if you do refer somebody, I do have a referral bonus. It's maybe for you it's $50, maybe for you it's $20, maybe for you it's a mug, or a t-shirt, whatever it happens to be. That's your referral bonus. Now, it's not a guarantee that you're gonna get a referral from this client, from this family member. So that's not really the point. You don't put all your eggs in a single person basket. This is more, think of each person that you talk to about referrals as an actual tenth of a referral. If there's a 1 in 10 chance that that person will give you a referral, then 10 of them is one referral. So think of it that way. Don't think of it as, well, this person doesn't have any connections, they'll never give me a referral, because I've gotten referrals from the randomest people, including family members. Let them know that you don't want them to jeopardize any work relationships or anything like that. So do give them an exit from having to give you a referral, but then think of different exits that they can have that isn't as simple as just saying no. If giving referrals at work is not an option, then maybe a certain social group that they belong to, give them a card that's ready-made, a postcard that's ready-made, and say, hey, I know that in your book group or your church group, or whatever it happens to be, something that isn't actually socially damaging, have them come up with a script. It's like, listen, I promised my cousin, my aunt, my sister, whatever it happens to be, I promised them that I would give this card out because he tutors, and they did promise that they'd give a 10% discount for anybody who works with them. So here's the card. That's all I'm going to say. If they can't even do that, then ask them if they're willing to at least make a post on their Facebook, and that's it. Because they don't have to exit completely. Maybe that's something that they'd be willing to do. When you're thinking about this family member, remember, this is one specific family member. You want to tailor this conversation specifically to them. Why? Because every other day from now on, when you ask for a referral, you're going to want to tailor your referral request to every single individual. And that's how you maximize those referrals. If you want to hear step 4 through 10 of how to get tutoring clients during this tutoring dry season, then definitely click on the link that I mentioned in the description, or go to this address. Definitely subscribe also. Thanks for watching, guys.